of the future. And we the name of the future. We the name of the future. And we the name of the future. Hey. Yeah. Shout out to Big Tez, man. And Big O. It's still a nation, man. Yeah. Big Tez. Big O. You know what it is, man. It's still a nation, man. Big O. Yeah. Big O. Every night on Monday night, man. Hey. 7 to 8 on Monday night. Big O. Big Tez. And it's a stump. And this is still a nation. Big Tez. Big O. It's Big Tez. Big O. Still a nation. Big Tez. Big O. Big Tez. Big O. It's still a nation, man. Yeah. And it's a stump. Big O. Yeah, I had to say it was a stump, man. Big O. Cause you know, it is a stump, man.
Welcome to Steeler Nation Live. Big Tiz, Big O. What's going on, Big O? How's everything been going with you, brother?
What's going on, Big Tiz?
Hey.
So happy to be here in Rochester, New York with this lovely rainy weather. I think I'm in Seattle, but
hey, we're here. We're back. We had in our last show, we had some technical difficulties, and we apologize to you, Steeler Nation. From the bottom of our heart, Big Tiz and Big O, we apologize.
that's right. We're not here to disappoint, but not to make excuses, Big Tiz. This is our preseason as well. And just like the players out there doing their preseason, they're going through the motions. They're trying new techniques, new things, and sometimes everything doesn't go way as planned.
Right.
So that's what happened. We're trying new things, and we're trying to make the show better for you. And sometimes things don't click or go the way we want to. So we're ironing out the wrinkles, and we're trying to make things better for you, easier for you.
Exactly. And that's what we want to do for you. But let's start the show off. And one thing we want to start the show off with is we got a new thing going on in Pittsburgh. Everybody's been waiting for it. Mike Wallace.
That's my man.
Back in Pittsburgh. Big O, what do you think about that situation?
Well, sources close to Steeler Nation Live, Big Tiz, have notified us and let us know that Mike Wallace is on a plane right now heading towards Pittsburgh, where tomorrow he will officially return to the Pittsburgh Steelers and sign his one-year tender of $2.74 million. So welcome back, Mike. Welcome back.
Yes. Mike, you're sorely missed. We love it that you're back. You're back where you belong, back in Pittsburgh. We all need you. Stay here with us and come on back to Pittsburgh. That's where it's at, where championship rings need to be had. Take a note from the rest of the league. Take it from us. Take it from Steel City, black and yellow. We are back.
Yep. One more ring, 7. We'll start with that. We'll go 7, then we'll work our way up for that.
Well, now we're gonna touch base quickly on some of the games that happened last week, which was actually the Colts. The Steelers played the Colts last week, and the Steelers actually, they look decent at times, but you know what? We're just going to do a quick synopsis on that game. But they look decent at times, but as you can see, the secondary needs some work.
Well, getting back, not to repeat what we talked about last week, if you were able to hear us, but I was very impressed with Luck. He was poised. He was very mature. He did well. He did very well against the Steeler defense, but not well enough.
Right.
Where we pulled it out, 26-24 victory, last-second field goal. Doesn't matter. Style points don't count. You got the win, victory. Put it up to the left side.
Exactly. But you know what? Even in that game, we had some injuries coming out of that game. And, just like the Steelers always do, we have to be resilient, and that's a part of the game. I mean, even though it's preseason, a lot of guys get hurt in preseason, but that's what happens around the league. So we play through it.
And that's what comes in when you're a good scouting team. Pittsburgh doesn't go out to the big-name colleges per se and get these high-profile players. They get the players who they feel that they can mold and shape to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, not to be a football player, but to be a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Exactly. But this week, we had a lot of things that went around the league. I'm going to turn it over to Big O. He's going to get you guys caught up on some of the games that happened over the weekend. So you got to check us out here on Steeler Nation Live.
But first of all, we try not to open up the show on a bad note, so we open up on a good note with our man Wallace coming back. But if you watched the game Saturday, the game we were at in Buffalo, Orchard Park. It was horrible. and if you don't know, David DeCastro, first round pick out of Stanford, right guard, went down with a severe knee injury. Now, he not only hurt his knee, he hurt it in three different ways, 3 serious different ways. And I don't want to say he did it because, accidents happen. So here's what happened. He has a torn MCL, a dislocated kneecap, and a partially torn patellar tendon.
Wow.
Now, we have a video clip of this, folks. So if, this stuff makes you sick or whatever, turn your head not to watch. I'm giving you fair warning. It's not that gruesome, but it makes me want to throw up because I know the caliber player he could have been this year and how he could help the team. So when you look at the video shot, there's a blue circle. Try and focus on the blue circle where you could see DeCastro's knee buckle, and it's just...
So it's a bad thing to look at. I mean, if you're looking at the video that we have on the screen,
Ouch.
Actually you can see it's circled in that part to where DeCastro is blocking there, and he gets turned back awkwardly, and it kind of just takes his knee out. And basically, from what we're seeing right here, it looks like they're looking at a 3 to 5 month window for a return for DeCastro, but I'm looking at DeCastro being done until next year.
Well, if it was the best case scenario, like we're hoping, we're looking at late January, early February. And that's a best case scenario, which means that he might be available for our Super Bowl.
Well, that's what we're looking for, baby. Super Bowl.
But if you see this picture right now, if you look, who's the first person that went to his side?
Ben Roethlisberger.
Ben Roethlisberger. Let's roll that tape one more time so the folks at home could get a good taste of how serious this injury really is. Tiz, I'm throwing up. I got to come back. But we talked about the best case scenario. Now here's the worst case scenario, which I really don't want to talk about, but we have to. Worst case scenario, he might be ready by preseason next year. This is the severity of this injury. Now we're still waiting for another MRI to be conclusive, but pretty much basically what we discussed, the MCL torn, the slight tear in the patellar tendon and the kneecap. How do you dislocate a kneecap? That even sounds painful.
Like I said, this guy, he's in his career right now. He's young enough, so we're hoping that this injury is something that he'll be able to overcome in his career and continue on with a healthy career with the Steelers. So that's one thing that we're all praying for here at Steeler Nation Live. And DeCastro, just to let you know, we wish you the best and hope that you have a healthy return, even if it's not this year, but next year. We're hoping for you for the best.
And I'm still gonna get your jersey. That's a promise.
That's love, baby.
And what's bad about the injury that you're going to see more of these injuries with the new fake grass. It looks cool. It feels cool. It doesn't get the jerseys, the uniforms dirty as much. But Ben Roethlisberger is against this kind of field.
Right.
Because what happens is when your cleats if you ever played on this field, you know what I'm talking about, what Ben's talking about. When your cleat is in, ready to push off, there's no give.
Exactly.
Unlike real turf, real grass, and real dirt, if something's pushing against your foot, it's going to slide, it's going to give because the grass will break, the dirt will break. This does not happen. So therefore, your foot is lodged. It's stuck in there. Mm-hmm. And so any kind of twisting, pushing against the grain, you're going to have injuries. And that's what's been happening around the NFL. Pay attention, folks. When your team, if you're not a Steeler fan, and you have your players get hurt on this type of turf, you're going to know what I'm talking about. But it's a lot better than that AstroTurf, the green concrete. Remember that, Tiz?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That's the old school stuff. Hard cement with a rug over it.
That's, ouch. That's like playing in the parking lot.
Well, like I said, it was a gruesome injury to happen to our number one draft choice, so we're hoping for the best. And like I said, whoever comes in, they're going to have to fill those shoes, and it's a big void they're going to have to fill. So, but that's the only way we're going to get to the championship.
What makes this even more painful, more hard to swallow, is that this game was meaningless. Meaningless to the point where you win, okay, you go home, you shower, that's it. And it was against the Bills. That makes it even worse.
Yeah, that is bad. And I know there's a lot of Bill fans that are out there. You know what? But it was a meaningless game when it comes down to it, and this individual was hurt. So You know what? We can't digress on it. We can't
Nope.
stay on.
We gotta
Castro.
move on.
The Castro, we'll be waiting for you.
I'm sick to my stomach.
We also had some firings that went on in Pittsburgh. You know,
Some people had to be let go.
exactly.
And you know how I felt about special teams for the past couple preseason games. How did I put it? The special teams didn't look so special. But Mike Tomlin released special team coach Al Everest a couple days ago and replaced him by Amos Jones, who was his assistant. Now, if you can remember back in 2010, when I believe it was Bobby April, we let him go, that Al Everest came into the same kind of way. April was let go. He came in, same thing here. You're let go. We need to move in a different direction. This is what Mike Tomlin, he's not going to wait for something bad to happen. He wants to move in his direction, and I applaud him for doing that. Like I said, that I don't want that job to have to let people go. So
Exactly. It's a job. It's a job that sucks, and I mean nobody wants it. The fact that you're letting somebody go and you're affecting somebody's livelihood and things like that, but that's a part of the game. That's a part of football.
You're absolutely right. And today was the day that 15 players had to have been cut or released to get it down to the 75 players. Now you're thinking, wow, 15 players are cut. Folks, let me tell you, friends, there's more to come. We have to get this, or not we, the Pittsburgh Steelers have to get their team roster down to 53. So that means another 20, 22, 23 cuts have to be made. But we're not going to jump the gun on that. Here's a list of the 15 players. I'm going to go in alphabetical order. We have defense, we have offense. So it's not like I'm trying to mix it up or anything like that. But the list of 15 players go: linebacker Ryan Baker. Stop me if you heard this. Defensive tackle Mike Blanc. Wide receiver Paul Cox. Cornerback Andre Freeman. Kicker Daniel Ratman. And like I said, we're talking to you earlier about this guy, Ratman. Love this kid. Great leg. Sorry to see him go. But, Danny, stay by the phone. This doesn't mean you don't have a job. Stay by the phone. After the roster is set, we might have to make some moves. We need a backup kicker. Sweezum is good, but he's average. Do we want average, Tiz?
No, we want top of the line, baby. That's when we make it to the championship.
And what we did was we did the opposite of what the Ravens did. The Ravens let their star kicker, Billy Cundiff, go.
Right.
And signed the rookie kicker. And Pittsburgh did like the total opposite. So you know where the Ravens are going with that one. Let's see. Let's continue. Linebacker Monty Ivy. Well, he was put on the injured wave list earlier. Mm-hmm. So that's not really a big surprise to me. Offensive guard Kyle Jolly. That was my daughter's favorite at training camp. He loved her. She loved him. It was love and match made in heaven. Long snapper Matt Catula. Tight end Jamie McCoy. Cornerback Walter McFadden.
Now that was a surprise. Walter McFadden actually is a veteran in the league, and it was a surprise to see him being released that early because I figured we'd give him a little go, knowing that Pittsburgh needs help in his secondary.
Oh, absolutely. He could have been a mentor to the young quarterbacks, give them some style, some skill, what to do, some shortcuts. But like I said, Big Tiz, stay by your phone. I continue on. Justin Peele. That was a surprise to me. We talked about this earlier. He's the tight end that the free agent sign that the Steelers got from the 49ers. Now, he's big, he's agile, he can block, he can catch, he's very versatile. So to see him being released is a shock to me. Safety, Myron Rolle.
Wow, yeah, another veteran.
Another
veteran.
Another free agent signing, veteran, who's been around the league, who knows his stuff. But like I said, you got your pink slip today, but it's not over.
Exactly.
It's not over.
Exactly.
Wide receiver, Jamoris Stewart. Defensive tackle, Kade Weston. And wide receiver, Jimmy Young. Didn't impress me at all at training camp. We have a plethora. You like that? A plethora.
I love that. I love that.
I can't spell it, but it sounds pretty good. A plethora of wide receivers. So to see him go really isn't, I'm sure some other team can pick him up and he'll maybe do good on that. Maybe even on the practice squad. You never know. But you had to let him go. And let me tell you, folks, there's more cuts to come.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of cuts that's going to be coming in Pittsburgh. We also want to give you guys some of the scores that happened over the weekend and this NFL weekend. So there are a lot of things going on. So I'm going to let Big O run down the scores of this weekend's games and let you have it.
Oh, Big Tiz. Here we go. Packers beat up on the Bengals 27-13. Ravens in a rout over the Jaguars 48-17. Cardinals don't want to remember the Titans. Titans 32, Cardinals 27. Atlanta, the Falcons soar past the Fish 23-6. Eagles hand the Browns their first loss of the preseason 27-10. Tampa Bay, two better than the Brady's Patriots, 30-28.
Ooh, love to see Brady go down.
Oh, yeah, he's on my fantasy team. Easy there, killer. Chargers shock the Vikes by 2, 12-10. Is that a baseball score or hockey score? Bears 20, New York Football Giants 17. Washington 30, Colts 17. Raiders caged the Lions 31-20. Cowboys manhandled the Rams, Tiz, by 1 point, 20-19. And the Saints 34, all my exes live in Texans 27. 49ers 29, Broncos 24, and the Panthers 17, Jets 12. That's 4 field goals, Tiz, for you keeping score at home. 4 times 3, folks, is 12. Not a touchdown yet in the preseason. Is Rex Ryan, his job in jeopardy?
It seems like it to me. I don't know about Rex Ryan. I mean, right now it looks like everything's out of control over there in New York Jets. So it's a bad time right now to be a New York Jet fan. I know a couple guys that I work with that are New York Jet fans, so I'm pretty sure they're ready to jump ship as it is, right? But we'll go on with the show. So one thing, we're going to talk about some other NFL news. So we're going to touch base on some other things that happen around the league this upcoming weekend.
Well, remember quarterback Vince Young over the weekend who backed up Fitzpatrick for the Bills?
Oh, yeah.
He does not have a home anymore. The Bills acquired ex-Seattle quarterback Tavares Jackson in a trade that occurred immediately after the Bills got trounced by the Steelers. Was it 38-7?
Yes, it was.
The final score?
It was spectacular.
But we'll talk about that later during the show. We just want to get the little stuff out before we really start talking about what we want to talk about. Well, the terms, the sources close to Steeler Nation Live have told us this trade from Buffalo to Seattle, bringing Tavares Jackson into Orchard Park. I believe Seattle's given up 2 first-round draft choices for this.
Wow.
And they ended up letting Vince Young go. Jets, you need a quarterback. This guy I don't understand. What are the Bills thinking? They just signed this guy.
Hey, I'm sorry, just to let you fans know that we do read your text of the board. One text we read on there was, it's never a good time to be a Jet fan. So if you're a Jet fan, like I said earlier, this is bad times for you guys. So just to let you guys know, we are reading the text that come on the board, and just to let you guys know what's going on.
Well, we have one guy in the chat board. I don't know if you're referring to this guy. It's never a good time to be a Jet fan. You must be a New York Football Giant fan. But I got to tell you though, that you got to make some smart choices. You just can't jump the gun. And there's a reason why Tavares Jackson wasn't a starter in Seattle.
Why is that?
He's not very good. He just got how long was he on? Well, the Seahawks.
Well, he was with the Seahawks. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking maybe 2 to 3 years as he's with the Seahawks. But sometimes it goes down to the effect of whatever scheme that an individual is in. So maybe this could be the correct scheme for him in Buffalo, because Buffalo, I guess, they will streamline their offense to fit his needs, what they need right now. But like I said,
that's offensively. But now let's get back to defensively. Sean lights out Merriman. I don't understand that. They signed him. It was a great pick for Buffalo. He's injury prone. That's true. But this guy is ready to play. He's full steam.
Exactly.
They need guys like him to mentor the Buffalo Bills linebacker squad. Because if you watch the game, these guys were good, but they're young.
Exactly.
They're good and they're young. They need somebody like Merriman to mentor them, to shape them, to mold them. And, enough of the Buffalo Bills. But you know what? That's why they're where they're at. Not because the Dolphins are good. Not because the Jets are good. Not because the Patriots are good. They actually make the Patriots look good. Who else is in that division? Getting back to the Jets really quick, and we're really not trying to bash the Jets. When are you going to score a touchdown?
Yeah, that's a sore subject right now, because the Jets, They're not scoring touchdowns, and right now they're putting themselves in a position to where they're making a a 2-ring circus really with Tim Tebow and the quarterback now,
Sanchez.
Sanchez. I mean, they're making a circus of this thing, a mockery of things right now. Sanchez, to be honest, out of the two quarterbacks, is the better quarterback. So let's go forward with that. I mean, stop with the playing around before you lose your job.
My version of a quarterback controversy was when two quarterbacks are fighting because you can't tell which one is better. These guys are both horrible.
Yeah.
So is that a new terminology for quarterback controversy that we don't have one, as opposed to somebody's trying to vie for that? All right, we'll just leave that one alone.
Yeah.
Let's continue on to some more news. The Minnesota Vikings. If you're a Minnesota Viking fan out there, guess who they're looking and talking to? You'll never guess. He played for the Seahawks. He just got released by the Seahawks.
Oh boy.
Who is this guy?
T.O. T.O.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wow. This guy, it kind of amazes me because I hate to see him go through the rough times that he's went through. I mean, a lot of it does come down to some of it's what he's done to himself, but the fact is he's older, he's aging, but I still think he still has it. You know what I mean? He has a little bit of it still.
He's good. He's mellowed out in a few years. Maybe people don't like him being mellow.
Maybe
they want the he didn't bring the attention to the team that Seattle thought he was going to. He's up in Seattle. What do you got in Seattle? Starbucks. I mean, maybe he could have promoted Starbucks.
Well, it was sad to see T.O. go, had to go through these things, but hopefully he'll land with someone somewhere. So T.O., if you're out there listening, we wish you the best of luck as well.
Absolutely.
And that's coming from Steeler Nation.
That's right. And Canada's always looking for some top-of-the-line football players. Another big surprise. Within the division, I guess the Colts are trying to make a trade with the Patriots for Wes Welker.
Wow.
Can you imagine him being on the roster with Luck throwing him the ball? Because you know what, that wide receiver core for New England, there's too many wide receivers. He's not going to get the ball. He's not going to get the touches that he used to get because they're signing all these guys. I don't know. But you know what? Wes Welker would be a great fit in Indianapolis. Great fit. He'd help out Luck, make him look even better.
Well, guys, you know what? We're coming to the first commercial of our show, but when we come back, we want to let you guys know that we're going to give you some stats on the game. What happened in the Steelers game when they went down to Buffalo, and it was so marvelous. We had the big one that they had, 38-7. So when we come back, we're going to give you full stats of that game, and we'll be back in a couple seconds here on Steeler Nation Live.
$2246 East River Road, Rochester, New York. Open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Sunday noon till midnight. McGinney's is a sports pub featuring fine lunch and dinner. Whether from the menu or the chef's daily specials, there's always something great to eat until 11 p.m. McGinney's also has a full line of your favorite beverages with daily drink specials sure to quench your thirst and not your wallet. With 2 floors of seating, 20 HD TVs, there's never a bad seat to watch your favorite game. Happy hours from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. and home of the Chicken Wing Challenge every Thursday night. McGinney's also offers full catering as well, so come on down and check us out. We would sure love to meet you. So go online to www.mcguinness.com and check out their full menu. Uniform Express, located on 1408 Buffalo Road, Rochester, New York, for your police, fire, or EMS supplies. One of Rochester's top and finest suppliers of shirts, pants, shoes, boots, and accessories for your professional uniform needs. Uniform Express also does embroidery and screen print for team uniforms, jerseys, and corporations. Hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can also go to their website at www.uniformexpress.com or call Brian at 585-529-4245. That's 585-529-4245. And let Brian know you heard his ad on our show, Steeler Nation Live.
Hey guys, welcome back, Steeler Nation Live. We love it when the board's lit up. You know what? This is what we love about Steeler Nation Live. The people come out, they respect us, we respect you. And like I said, we'll get to some of you guys on the board, some of you guys who want to call in or whatever, and you can talk to us on Steeler Nation Live. Big Tiz, Big O.
That's right. Keep on texting. We see you on the board, but you know, Big Tiz has me doing all this stuff over here, all this technical stuff that he's probably scared that I'm doing. I can't type fast, so plus you know, doing all this switching and talking and remembering stuff. So sweet. So keep the chats coming.
Hey, keep it coming. Hey, you know what? But in the game with the Steelers versus the Bills, the atmosphere was electric. A lot of people out there. You would have swore you were back in Pittsburgh. I mean, black and yellow all over the place. Steeler fans, marvelous job coming out representing the Steelers like I know you would have, and you did it right.
Oh,
you know
absolutely! It was great.
Give some of the people some of the stats from the game, some of the damage that Pittsburgh was doing while we were in Buffalo. Thanks for hosting us too, Buffalo.
That's right. Thank you for having us come to town, and we wish we could return the favor. You know what I'm saying? Because all right, here we go. The score 38-7. The score doesn't really depict the pace or the style of the game. The Bills, believe it or not, they looked really good.
Oh, yeah, they started off the game. I mean, it was kind of scary. Buffalo started off the game excellent. I mean, Fitzpatrick looked decent on their first drive of the game.
I was a little worried. The way that the special teams for Buffalo was keeping the ball deep in our own end. I think we had average field possession was inside our own 10-yard line.
Exactly.
You can't win games like that. They were keeping us in. They weren't making the big mistake trying to go for the long field goal. Mormon was putting it in right inside the 5, and there's not much you can do. And not to mention the fact that the running game was pretty much non-existent in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Defense looked pretty shaky at best, and special teams for Pittsburgh still a little weak on the kicking game.
Yeah, and that kind of hurt. And like he said, like Big O alluded to earlier with the kicking game of the Bills, those guys who kicked the ball for the Bills, those guys. They got to be MVPs of that game because, number one, me and Big O, we had seats close to the end zone part of the field, which were actually right at ground level. But the thing was, the Steelers were more or less down in our laps because the way the Bills had pinned them every time they punted the ball.
Yeah, we didn't care too much about that. But I think the game changer was when we were down at pretty much the goal line and we went 99 yards and scored on that drive.
Exactly.
That was fabulous.
All Big Ben.
And our plethora of wide receivers did really good. We'll get into that. Getting back to, we passed a lot more than we ran. And that was because we didn't abandon the rushing game quickly or too fast. We're trying to implement more things. And what I loved about that one drive that we went 99 yards was there was a lot of hurry-up offense, no-huddle offense.
Right.
And a lot of short screens, not to the wide receivers, but to the running backs.
Exactly. Chris
Rainey, Dwyer, fantastic. We passed for 269 yards to the Bills' 190 yards. Now, there were more than a couple passes that were dropped. So Fitzpatrick really didn't have a bad night. It's just the receivers weren't catching the balls, and thank goodness they weren't catching the balls because our secondary, I hate to beat a dead horse, Tiz, and folks out there, but our secondary is pretty much non-existent right now. So we ran the ball, 109 yards to Buffalo's 96 yards. Time of possession, believe it or not, the Bills held the ball more, but only by a couple seconds. We had it for almost 30 minutes. They had it just for a couple seconds over 30 minutes.
Well, that's unbelievable that Buffalo had the ball more than us, but I mean, they kind of moved the ball in between the 20s a little bit, but
they established that running game early.
Right.
And then it just fizzled out because it seemed like, to me, my opinion, when Buffalo was not manhandling the Steelers, but everything they were doing seemed to be working, they kind of said, okay, that's enough. Let's call it a night. And you don't want to do that.
Exactly.
This is a game where you're playing a team of this defensive caliber. You want to build momentum. You want to build confidence in your team. You just don't want to go out there and say, hey, look, what we're doing is working. It's right. And we had enough. Let's call it a night, because that's basically what they did. If they put on the power or the pressure or the running game that they were doing earlier, different ball game.
Exactly.
Different ball game.
Exactly.
I hate to say, because second stringers were in, third stringers were in. This is why. No, when you do something good, you work with it for a while just to make sure you're not really showing off anything.
Exactly.
But, if they would have kept it up, they would have been fine. Here's the thing that I love the most, okay? 2 for 11 yards on penalties. Now, the refs were either not there or the Steelers were mentally prepared for this game. And what we talked about last time, mental errors and physical errors. We seem to be doing a lot of holding penalties because you're not thinking. So that kind of intertwines with the mental and the physical. But we usually have at least 7 to 8 penalties a game, and this is fantastic. If you were at the game, if like me and Big Tiz were, when they went to the review board, this is what I didn't understand. The Jumbotron. If a play was being reviewed, the referee didn't go under the hood.
Right.
He was looking at the Jumbotron. Why? Because they was behind us, and they were looking up at the Jumbotron trying to make plays. We can go into, what happened, the one kick where there was a penalty blocking from behind. They called on the Steelers, and then he reversed it, said it was the Bills, and they said, well, you know what? It really wasn't a penalty. That took a half hour. But anyways, the penalties were great. So total yards for the Steelers, 378, 286 for the Bills. Now, the Bills were only penalized 4 times for 40. We're going to give them props. 4 penalties for 44 yards. So referees were pretty much non-existent Saturday night. Steelers had 20 first downs to 17 of the Bills. And here's another big stat, Big Tiz. Big stat, Big Tiz, Big O. Big O. When I mean Big O, no turnovers.
Beautiful.
For Pittsburgh to 3 Buffalo Bill turnovers. Defense stepped up late in the first half.
Oh, Palomalo. Nice pick.
Late in the game. And the second half, they were just as aggressive.
Exactly.
So the defense saved the day again. They say defense wins championships.
Exactly. And that's what we're leaning towards right now. Hopefully, with the injury to Castro, like I said, we alluded to earlier in the show, we got to get that run game going. I mean, we showed little bright spots here and there in the game of the run, but not enough. And, guys, we need it. We need it badly.
Well, you saw what happened when we did the no huddle, and you saw what happened when we did the hurry up offense.
Oh, yes.
And maybe Haley's not showing his cards. Maybe he's still holding back. I hope that's what's going on here, because from the news and reports that I got from our sources, that Haley was going to try and implement some, if not most, of the new offense to see if it was really clicking.
Right.
And if that's the case, we're in deep trouble. Deep trouble. And let's see, Roethlisberger 17 for 24, 169 yards, 1 TD, no interception, with a passer rating of 104.3. And then we get Leftwich in there. Fantastic. 5 for 8, 105 yards, not 1, but 2 TDs.
Beautiful. The one we hit Brown coming off the right-hand side over there, right in our laps.
Go ahead, say it.
Right on the money, touchdown.
Say it, Big Tiz. Beautiful.
That's it, baby.
That's our new thing. We're not huge. We're beautiful. And you know what? I'm selling this. You say it all the time, Big Tiz. You don't realize you say it. But when you say beautiful, go ahead, say it.
Beautiful. And it is beautiful.
You got to love it. And a couple more stats really quick. Baron Batch, 7 carries, 33 yards rushing.
Not bad. To be that there were no holes, but not a bad night.
And Brown, who got that new fancy contract, 7 catches, 108 yards, and 2 TDs. The man deserves the money.
And that's in the absence of Mike Wallace.
Now, what's going to happen now let's talk about this briefly, okay? When Mike Wallace comes to town, what's going to happen? He's going to be double teamed. He's going to stretch the offense. What does that do? That leaves the middle wide open. And what is that for? Tight ends. Not really. We're doing the running game now. Now we're opening up the field.
It all helps. It's just a piece of the puzzle, baby.
And they say one player doesn't make a team. I beg to differ. And you'll see. Sunday night, not this Sunday, next Sunday night when Pittsburgh travels to Denver to beat up on them Broncos.
Oh,
so
it's going to be an electric atmosphere. Woo. Like I said, I wish me and Big O could be there to that game, but we're going to try to make some other Steeler games.
Well, we'll take donations. If you want to send me and Big Tiz to Denver to watch the game and do a live show, we can do a live show.
Let us know.
Yes, it'd be beautiful. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, some other things we want to give you of what happened at the game. Like I said, the game was electric, sold out game to be a game to where it was a preseason game. Steeler fans were crazy, outnumbered the Bill fans by I don't know, maybe 5-1, as far as I can see. All you seeing was black and yellow at the stadium.
We had a couple Canadians
Exactly.
sitting next to us. They didn't know who to cheer for. I guess whoever was winning at the time, that was their fan. They had Bills attire on too.
Oh yeah.
So I think they were just being polite.
And then, like I said, besides the injury to the Castro that night, which was devastating, of course, we had some other injuries that came out that night, and we're going to touch base on those as well.
Well, what was really scary, you can't miss this guy in the field. If you're sitting there field level, Brett Kiesel, number 99, defensive tackle, defensive end.
The bearded maniac.
Oh, fear the beard. Fear the beard. Well, he went limping off the field early in the second quarter, I believe it was.
Yes.
High ankle sprain. Now, come on. We need this guy.
Exactly.
But on a good note, Mike Tomlin came out and he made sure that he said it was a mild high ankle sprain. And for precautionary reasons, he's not going to play this Thursday against the Panthers at home. Makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Do we need to lose any more people? You know what? Sidebar here, Big Tiz. What they really need to do is keep the regular season 16 games and make it 2 preseason. Yeah. What is the sense of having 4 preseason games other than to possibly lose your best player to injury?
Well, like I said, that's one thing that they've been debating for a couple of years now, or more than a couple of years, the fact that the preseason game and there's more injuries, and they were even talking about extending the games for in a season. But to me, that still is lessening a player's career. But like I said, these guys make the big money. I don't, so I can't be the one sitting here making that decision. So like I said, when we come back,
yep,
we're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming game against the Panthers. And the Steelers are going to be at home. The Panthers coming to Pittsburgh, where we're going to show them where it's done right. Heinz Ketchup Field.
That's right. Another Pittsburgh Steeler. First down. You know what I'm talking about if you've been there.
And we'll be back
All right,
on
got
Steeler Nation Live, Big Tiz, and
Big O. Let's pay them bills, brother.
Looking to buy or sell a home, look no further than Dan Powell. Dan knows that buying or selling a home is one of the most important things you will ever do. Dan wants to make that experience as smooth and successful as possible. Dan's extensive expertise in the real estate market will benefit you whether you're looking to buy or sell a home. Once Dan knows what you want, he will work tirelessly to find the right home for you, because no one should compromise when it comes to such a huge purchase. Whether you're looking for homes for sale, moving resources, or even mortgage information, everything you need is right here with Dan. Dan will always be available for personal service by phone or email, so feel free to contact him with questions at any time. So when buying or selling a home, don't get frustrated or throw in the towel. Just call Dan Powell at 585-704-8324. That's 585-704-8324, or email Dan at dan@rochhomefinder.com. That's Dan at ROCHOMEFINDER.com. What a great game. The Steelers are winning, the defense is stepping up, and the O-line is finally protecting Ben.
Yeah, it's still early in the game. Give him a little time.
I'm hungry.
When aren't you hungry?
Guys, I know it's only the second quarter, but don't forget I promised you guys Permane Brothers after the game.
Why'd you have to say that, Dad? Now I'm hungry. Can't wait to get my double pastrami like always.
Hey, what do I look like? Some kind of summoner who's going to summon Permane Brothers sandwiches right to our seats?
Dad, there's a Permane Brothers right here in Heinz Field.
Hey, that's right. Now I'm hungry. Hey, let's not wait. Let's go get some delicious Permane Brothers right now. And you know what? Maybe one of you guys could pay this time.
Hey, Dad, if we get it right now, can we still go afterwards, too?
Permane Brothers, almost famous, always a favorite. Permane Brothers is home of the almost famous sandwich. Fresh grilled meat and cheese piled high with french fries, coleslaw, and tomatoes, all between 2 thick slices of fresh Italian bread. It's a Pittsburgh tradition for every Steeler fan. Permane Brothers has 20 locations, including 3 in South Florida, from the original on 18th Street to the surrounding suburbs of the city of Pittsburgh. Primanti Brothers has been making this famous sandwich for almost 80 years. You can check out all their locations at their website, PrimantiBrothers.com.
All right, guys, welcome back. Steeler Nation Live, Big Tiz, Big O.
What's up, people? How you doing? Welcome back.
Hey, we're going to talk. We got the Panthers coming to Heinz Field this weekend.
Oh, boy.
And like I said, it's going to be a big game. August 30th, 7 p.m., Heinz Field. And the thing about the Panthers coming in, they got an injury coming in that's going to be a big part of their offense, and that's the running back, Jonathan Stewart. He has an ankle sprain, which is going to affect their whole running game. And the fact is now the whole offense, well, at least during the preseason, is going to be predicated towards Cam Newton. And Cam's now he's got a bigger load to carry on his shoulders.
Yeah, this is a love-hate situation for me because Jonathan Stewart is on my fantasy team, and I'm happy that he won't be playing Thursday. But you know, it's not beneficial to the Steelers if you look at it. You want the defense to play against that type of offense to get you ready. You want that guy to running all over the field. You want to chase him down. You want to be able to try and contain Cam Newton because you're not going to meet Cam Newton's every game.
Exactly, and he has that type of elusiveness that's going to cause issues for any team. And like I said, you got a guy as big as he is, strong as he is, almost that Ben Roethlisberger type where guys are falling off this guy when he's running. This guy is throwing passes on the run. So basically, really, Pittsburgh's defense is going to be facing Roethlisberger type. So it's going to be a big test for Pittsburgh. And I'd like to see what they do against Cam Newton. And, you know, this is going to kind of get that defense tested, especially that secondary, which has so many problems at this moment.
Right. And Cam Newton reminds me of a Cordell Stewart. Remember young Cordell Stewart?
Yes.
You just didn't know what this guy was going to do. He had such a potential to do anything. Throw, run, hand off, even kick the ball, even punt the ball. Remember that?
Yes.
He was punting the ball. Is this guy out of his mind or what?
Hey, like I said, we'll see what happens in that game this weekend. Hopefully, I'm looking forward to it being the Steelers. It's a final game. So basically, the starters are not going to really be in as much, and they're going to get a long look at Leftwich and Charlie Batch. So
my favorite, Jared Johnson. I love this kid.
Exactly.
He's huge.
Hopefully he can stay with the team. I'm praying this guy's a good guy. He's got that big build, 6'5", 6'6" frame, hard to bring down, and he can throw well on the run. So that's something that we need, and we need it in Pittsburgh.
Well, what did you say when you saw Leonard Pope?
Oh, gosh. We seen him at the game. This guy looked like he was 7 foot tall.
Hey, we found Bigfoot. He was wearing number 45.
Pope, if you ever listen to this broadcast, brother, you are huge.
Well, you know you're big when you have to duck when you're walking under the goalpost.
Exactly.
How many times did he dunk his helmet? It was just because we were in the end zone. So, and you know the Steelers were back there quite often, going the other way. But this guy's Bigfoot. Bigfoot. We found Bigfoot.
Yeah, I think we did.
All right,
Big
folks.
O might be right.
That's right.
You know what? We're going to go to our other segment of the show. And while the show's going on, we welcome you guys to call into the station. You call us, get online, get on TalkShoe.com if you want to get on and check out our site here, Steeler Nation Live. Check us out. We should be on the front page as soon as you log in. Guys, actually, if you want to call in, it's 724-444-7444. Caller ID number 115243. Hit the pound key and hit guest for one and pound, and you're in. And you can talk to Big Tiz and
Big O. Hey, folks, like I said earlier, please keep the chats coming. We're reading them. Thank you very much for your support. Like I said, I cannot type and do all this other technical stuff that Tiz is scared to have me doing. This operation is not being done by itself. Big Tiz, he's doing the workload. I'm trying to do as much as I can, and you can see he is sweating. He's sweating more now than a Monday workout. Hey, and we know what we're talking about here, Big Tiz.
But like I said, the next frame of the show we want to go to is Crybaby Corner.
Oh, boy.
And we know what that is. You guys who don't like Pittsburgh, you guys who are jealous of Pittsburgh, you guys who are jealous of the rings, you guys who don't like a team that's always winning, it's understandable. Me and Big Tiz are here. We're going to keep it clean, but we're going to come hard and we're going to let you know that Pittsburgh is the place where you need to be, the place you need to stay, and the place you're going to come back to. So you better recognize. Tell them, Big O.
That's right. Come hard, come fast, come clean. We want your take on the show. You know, call up and cry about the show. You don't like the show. The show is, you know you're wrong, but the show is great. Call up and talk about the show. Keep on texting in, typing in. Like I said, I love the return your messages. Thank you, people, for call in, talk to us. We want to hear what you got to say.
We'll be here. We will be here. So we're gonna let the show progress. If anybody calls in, we're more than welcome to talk to you here on Steeler Nation Live. And come on, we welcome you. Let me give out the number again: 724-444-7444. Caller ID number 115243. Hit the pound key. Hit guest number 1.
Guest.
Pound.
Be our guest.
So we'll continue on with the show. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to talk about a hot topic on the show for tonight's show. And that hot topic is going to be, is the NFL a dragnet for failure? Now, when I say a dragnet for failure, I mean, like, you got guys that come in, and some guys come in from good colleges. These guys come in from different backgrounds or whatever. But when these guys come in and they get a taste of the NFL, it seems like life is never right after that.
No. It's not.
And you look at young guys that come into the NFL, like the Castros and
Stanford.
Oh, Stanford.
Stanford grad.
Exactly.
Look at me.
These guys come into the NFL like a young DeCastro. And let's hope that he has a good NFL career. But when a guy like him comes into the NFL, they're lured by different things that come out into the NFL, like the women and the
money.
The drugs, the cars. These are things that these guys are lured by.
Well, let's take into consideration these guys probably never had a job, went straight to college from high school. They don't know what money is. Now, you take a kid, 19, 20-year-old, 21-year-old kid who pretty much probably never really had a job, and now you're throwing millions and trillions of dollars his way.
Exactly.
So what do you think he's going to do? He's going to buy all the fancy cars. He's going to buy the houses. He's going to buy the airplanes, the rings, the jewelry. Go ahead, Tiz. I'm sorry. This is your baby, but you go ahead.
And he's right, though, because like I said, it does evolve to that. These guys, they get that money, and they never had a taste of that money and the things that come from that, like I said. And you get friends that you try to help out from the old neighborhood, and sometimes helping out, becomes such a heavy load that these guys feel so much pressure. And let's get it straight. The average NFL career, realistically, will last only 4 to 5 years in the league.
That's if you're good, even
Exactly.
if you're good.
And by the time these guys leave the league, by that time, they're either divorced or bankrupt.
Oh boy!
Now that's rough for a young guy coming in the league who's going through all this and possibly leaving with a drug problem
or jail.
Exactly. One of the topics that we want to talk about in tonight's show was Jamarcus Russell. You remember Jamarcus Russell for the Raiders?
I do.
Jamarcus Russell.
Good-looking guy, handsome guy,
exactly.
A lot of money at one point.
Number 1 draft choice, 2007 NFL draft. Signed a contract worth $61 million, $32 million of it.
Oh boy,
guaranteed.
Now you think being sent to a certain specific location? Do you think, Tiz, that might play into something how they respond to people? Like, well, he went to Oakland.
Right.
Now, do you think the team might have some kind of bearing on how this person uses or spends their money or their lifestyle?
A team could have a lot to do with it, but like I said, you get a young guy that comes in, such as Jamarcus Russell, and this guy is, like I said, hit with such big amounts of money, $32 million of it guaranteed. And sometimes these guys they get that big head and they get lazy, and if you don't have the right toolage and you don't have the right tools in place to help this guy advance, this guy is going to suffer. He's going to fall by the wayside, and he becomes this guy that has been, as what Jamarcus Russell is at this moment.
Right.
Will he ever come back to the NFL? That remains to be seen. But like I said, he finished his career as a starter of 7-18. That was his record. He played 3 seasons with the Raiders, and like I said, he was released in 2010. And when he was released in 2010, he was also picked up on possession of codeine syrup without a valid prescription. These are the kind of things that I mean. Like, after his career, this is a guy making $32 million guaranteed money. Now he leaves, and he's being picked up for possession of codeine syrup.
Now look at his face, Tiz. You folks at home, look at his face. Does that look like a face of a millionaire? Does that look like a face of the guy, I got $32 million and you don't?
Exactly.
That's horrible.
And let's keep it going.
Let's do it.
Here's another one.
Oh boy.
Warren Sapp.
No.
I don't know if you guys know Warren Sapp. Warren Sapp played with Tampa Bay for years, and also, oddly, ended up with the Oakland Raiders as well. And right now, Warren Sapp filed for bankruptcy, reported owing $6.7 million, which includes back payments and child supports and alimony.
How can you get behind? How can you? I don't understand that. You have this money. pay the bills. Pay
Well,
the bills.
Well, like I said, when you get these extravagant houses, these guys just don't buy one house like you or me would buy. These guys
Oh.
buy a house here, they buy a house there. These houses cost $2 million a piece, $3 million a piece, and then you're gonna need somebody to keep the upkeep on these properties. And these guys don't realize it's almost to the effect that you're trying to keep up with the Joneses.
All right, you know what? I hate to wish bad on anybody, but he's not a fan of the Steelers. I remember last year before the start of the season on HBO where he called the Steelers old, and he just did not have a lot of nice things to say about Pittsburgh. So I feel no sorry for this guy. You get what you deserve. With the last name Sapp, yeah, you act like a sap. You know what?
They said this guy also had estimated $6 to $7 million. $6 to $7,000 worth of shoes and a $1,200 lion skin rug.
Now I like shoes, Tiz, but if I spent $600 on shoes, I wouldn't be alive talking right now.
I'm sure you wouldn't. You'd have to sleep on top of your shoes.
Oh boy.
But let's get it straight. Let's go with another one. This one's a biggie.
There's more.
Ryan Leaf. Remember Ryan Leaf? Drafted number 2 in 1998 NFL draft, signing for 4-year contract, $31.25 million.
Cha-ching.
$11.25 million of it guaranteed. Now this guy is amazing. Leaf was benched after throwing only 2 touchdowns and 15 interceptions.
Well, we all know what he'd do with his money.
Now let's go through some of the things that happened with Leaf after leaving football. Like I said, with the $1 million he was making and everything. 2009, Leaf was indicted on burglary charges. April 2010, pleaded guilty to 7 counts of obtaining a controlled substance by fraudulent means.
Wait. What did he steal or attempt to steal? I'm curious about this.
It would scare me to even find out.
What can you possibly need at that, a Snicker bar at 7-Eleven at 2 o'clock in the morning? You don't have some change? It's in your Bentley? What? Go on, Tiz.
Now check this out. What's even more feeling sorry for these guys after their NFL careers. Leaf was arrested on March 30th, 2012 for burglary, then released only to be arrested 4 days later.
4 days.
For the same charge. Let me tell you again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 days later, this guy was rearrested
Rearrested.
for the same charge.
Well, they got a great law enforcement in whatever town he was in.
It's just amazing to see. And as you go down the list, you see other things. Actually, I'm going to go with a couple more. We had Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens, actually, he's going through some problems right now. Just got cut by the Seattle Seahawks.
How can you get cut by Seattle Seahawks?
Yeah, and I really, to be honest, I think this guy might catch on with someone, but it's just his other problems that follow him. Like I said, he has child support issues going on with him right now, and just other things that he's battling. He's battling all these demons right now. So I kind of feel for this guy right now. A lot of people won't because, like I said, they feel that you always create your own problems, and maybe he did. But it's sad to see somebody go from his stature and then drop down to where he is right now.
I'm pretty sure South Florida team down there wouldn't mind having him.
Okay.
I mean, he's got great hands. It's just what's killing him is his past.
Exactly.
He had fun with the autographs and the pom-poms and the stomping on the star in Dallas. I mean, people have to forget and forgive and move on. You want a ring? This guy could bring it to you. For a team who don't have the wide receivers, who don't have the talent, this is the guy that you need. You need him. He's a great receiver. He's fast, and he's not that old. He still can do it.
And like I said, I'm going to end this discussion right now tonight. And if you want to text in and talk with us about it, Ocho Cinco, 85. Ocho Cinco has had his share of problems. This guy had, he was just recently arrested for getting into it with his girlfriend. Or his wife, at the time. Or they're about to be married. I don't know which way it was. But anyway.
They were married.
Exactly. And this guy, he was arrested, and but people look at some of the pictures that we passing on the screen. But as you can see, he got arrested, and from there he lost his show, and it just kept spiraling downward. So like I said, it's the things that you do that affect you. And right now, this guy, I don't even know what's going to happen with this guy once his NFL career is actually over. And I mean, from the looks of it, and it does play. Media has a part to play in it. Media is going to rip him apart, and actually, media has been known to destroy a lot of NFL careers.
Well, I beg to differ on that one. I think the players destroy their own selves. The media just puts it out there like us to you, the great fans out there. the information that you really need. So, yes, does society have some kind of impact on the way these people are acting? Sure. But you know what? We're not talking about babies or kids. We're talking about grown men. And speaking about babies, we're still waiting for some phone calls for Crybaby Corner we haven't seen or heard. Keep on texting. Keep on chatting. We're listening. We see you on the board. We're not ignoring you folks. Like I said, I am very incapable of multitasking, especially when it comes to technological stuff. You could ask my wife about that.
Well, like I said, when me and Big O come back from these commercial break, we're going to actually give our final thoughts for the night, and we're going to probably just kind of touch base on the next game just a little bit and give you a feel of what's going to happen next on Steeler Nation Live.
McGinney's Sports Pub, 2246 East River Road, Rochester, New York. Open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Sunday, noon till midnight. McGinney's is a sports pub featuring fine lunch and dinner. Whether from the menu or the chef's daily specials, there's always something great to eat until 11 p.m. McGinney's also has a full line of your favorite beverages with daily drink specials sure to quench your thirst and not your wallet. With 2 floors of seating, 20 HD TVs, there's never a bad seat to watch your favorite game. Happy hours from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. and home of the Chicken Wing Challenge every Thursday night. McGinney's also offers full catering as well, so come on down and check us out. We would sure love to meet you. So go online to www.mcguinness.com and check out their full menu. At Grease Lightning, we offer fast automotive service, specializing in oil changes and auto repairs. We offer convenient yet comprehensive maintenance and repair service, fast and no appointment necessary. At Grease Lightning, we offer the best prices on top name brands. We get you in, out, and on your way, just like Grease Lightning. Grease Lightning is locally owned and operated, so come on down to 2061 Chiley Avenue here in Rochester and talk to Charles because he's in charge. You can also call Charles at 585-563-7939 or go to our website at mygreaselightning.com.
Welcome back, Steeler Nation Live. Big Tiz, Big O.
What's up, people?
Hey, like we're saying, you know what? Actually, I don't know if this is actual caller we got online. We got a little time before our final thoughts, but I'm going to see if it's a caller online. You know what? Why not? How you doing there? This is Big Tiz, Big O, Steeler Nation Live. What's your name, caller?
Hello.
Are you there?
Hello, we can hear you, sir. What's going on tonight, Steeler Nation? What did he say?
Hey, you know what? That's what happens on Steeler Nation. We get calls and we can't hear what he's saying. He's cutting in and out. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue on. Like I said, call us 724-444-7444. Caller ID 115243, pound key. Hit 1 and pound and you're in. Sorry for that. You know what? That's a lot of info for me to read off the top of my head, and I did it. So you know what? We're just reading some of the text here on the board. You guys, I'm telling you. Hey, you know, my final thoughts about what was going on so far with the situation with DeCastro and other things that's happening in Steeler land is the fact that the run game needs to work. And it scares me to see the way it's going right now, and I'm hoping that it gets better. And and right now with the loss of DeCastro, it really, really scares me. And I don't know what direction we're going to go in, but these guys, they need to fill in them pockets. They need to fill. And actually, the secondary is another very sore subject right now. So I'm just hoping that these problems are remedied before the start of the season. And I know it's going to be hard because now with Carolina coming in, we're not going to get a long look at the starters. We're going to be looking at the guys who are going to be backing up the starters or trying to still find a job, because after that, everybody gets cut down to the 53-man roster. And hopefully, you know what, we can find the gems out of the roughage that we need to keep this thing going here on Steeler Nation. So my thoughts are hopefully everything gets remedied before the start of the season, because we've got a big game and Pittsburgh's going down to Denver. And we need everybody to be on top of their game.
Well, my final thoughts are this. We cannot start off slow and think that we're going to build momentum and carry on. We have to start off fast. We have to pound the ground and then go to the air. Now, the Steelers have to make their final roster cut from 75 to 53, which is not going to be an easy task for Tomlin, the Rooneys, or everybody in the staff of the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Wallace expected to return tomorrow, that's good. That's going to, we're going to have to lose another wide receiver. But like I talked about earlier, Tiz, that we have a plethora of wide receivers. For instance, Gilreath, he came up huge last week, but Derek Williams made his debut against the Bills with a TD and 2 catches for 36 yards. On the other side of the ball, Robert Golden, cornerback, he continued solid play in the second half of the Bills-Steelers game, returning an interception off the duly departed Vince Young and setting it up. He ran 47 yards to set up a TD for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, with that being said, we have to think wisely. We have to choose wisely of these roster cuts. Now, the Steelers played mediocrely against the Bills.
Good word. I like that. You're using big words now.
Big words. But we all said it prior to every preseason game that we don't want to expose ourselves. We don't want people the other teams to know what we're doing. But now it's time to shine. Now it's time to come out full force. But we're not going to see that Thursday. We're going to have to wait till Denver. And I'm confident, Big Tiz, I am highly confident that when we come out to Denver, we're going to see a totally, totally different Steeler offensive look. The defense will be the same, fast, hard, and in your face. But the offense, don't be worried, folks. Let me tell you, friends, don't be worried. I guarantee you will see definitely a different offense, and that's in point because of Wallace. Number one, Wallace will be back.
Right.
He'll be suited up and playing, which changes the whole outlook of the defense and how they're going to cover the Steelers. So I'm looking for a great, great future. But getting back to what I started from, we cannot start off slow and try and build momentum. We have to come out hard and fast. We have to score. We cannot win games by playing catch-up.
Exactly.
Even though we're at Heinz Field, catch-up is not what we want to do.
I like that. Big O. I love it. I love the tenacity. I love it tonight. We are fired up here on Steeler Nation Live. We love it that you guys joined us tonight. You know what? The show went the way we loved it to go here on Steeler Nation Live. Big Tiz, Big
O right here.
We love having you. We want you guys to join us back next week. We're going to touch base on the game against Carolina and get ready for the season opener of Steeler Nation Live against Denver. It's going to be big. You got to be there. And there's going to be a lot of other things happening on the show this year. So we do want you guys to stay tuned. Now that we're doing video casts, this is powerful. And you guys still on audio. We love you as well. And the thing about with Denver coming up is everybody needs to be on point.
Right.
Everybody.
And one topic that we didn't bring up just yet that we need to tell our listeners, there will not be a show this coming Monday because of the holiday.
Exactly.
So stay tuned. Check out our website what our next show is going to be because we want you to be there. We love you to be there. We need you to be there because we want you to be a part of our family, SteelerNationLive.net. Check us out every day. Something new is happening. SteelerNationLive.net. Check us out.
And like I said, keep with us. A lot of things. We're going to be giving out gifts this year to you guys. There's still contests and trivia that's going to be happening on the show. So you got to be there to win it. And like I said, there's going to be a lot of things happening. So from Big Tiz,
Big O, and Mike Wallace.
back in Pittsburgh, we love you. We'll see you next time on Steeler Nation Live.
We're the name of the future. And we're the name of the future. Hey. Yeah. Shout out to Big Tiz, man. And Big O. It's Steeler Nation, man. Yeah. Big Tiz. Big O. You know what it is, man. Steeler Nation, man. Big O. Big Tiz. Big O. Every night on Monday night, man. 7 to 8 on Monday night. Big O. Big Tiz. And this is Stone. And this is Steeler Nation. Big Tiz. Big O. It's Big Tiz. Big O. Steeler Nation. Big Tiz. Big O, Big Tiz, Big O. It's Steeler Nation, man. Yeah. This is Stone. Big O. Yeah, I had to say it was a Stone, man. You know, it is a Stone, man. Yeah.